upgrading the Vivien Nature's Avenger Core Set 2020 Planeswalker deck. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos Magic Fan. I've got another Planeswalker upgrade video for you. This time it's the Vivien Nature's Avenger Planeswalker deck. Now this is the short version of the video. If you head on over to my Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos, you'll get the longer version of the video, which includes a sideboard, more expensive upgrades, and other strategy. You'll get that for $1. I think it's worth it. If you go to the $2 range, I will actually mail you vintage Magic cards. No, not a Black Lotus. Even at that $1 range, you'll get access to all my exclusive stuff, and you will fund my videos and keep me going. If you can't afford that at the moment, no worries, enjoy the shorter version of the video. So this video focuses on beginning to intermediate players who purchased a Planeswalker deck and want to upgrade it. I'm going to focus on common and uncommon cards for this upgrade. You should know that you can upgrade any deck to amazing levels with the full history of all Magic cards that exist and with expensive cards. But I'm going to focus on common and uncommon cards for beginning players because you often don't have as many cards to work with. So let's see what we can do. First of all, the crown jewel of this deck is the Vivien Nature's Avenger Planeswalker deck. This is a 6 casting cost legendary Planeswalker with 3 loyalty counters. +1. Put 3 +1/+1s on up to 1 target creature. So you can giant growth your creature +3/+3 permanently. -1. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card into your hand and the rest at the bottom of your library. So you get to see what's coming up at the top of your library and keep a creature. -6. The ultimate. Target creature gets +10/+10 and gains trample until end of turn. So even if you have a little 1/1 creature with this ultimate ability, it'll be a terror. So big creatures is the name of the game in this deck, and this is how we're going to focus our upgrades. So let's see what else we've got. Okay, let's start like this. The biggest creature of the deck is the Aggressive Mammoth. This is an exclusive card. It's number 337 out of 280. Everything past 280, you can't get it in booster packs unless you get a Planeswalker deck or the Welcome decks. Okay, so for 6 mana, you get an 8/8 elephant with trample, so it'll do damage beyond what it assigns to the blocking creature. Other creatures you control have trample. Okay, this comes with the deck. This is amazing. But to get the 6 mana fast enough, you're going to need some ramp. So this is how we're going to upgrade the deck first of all. I'm going to keep the Mammoth because I want a big old creature. But I'm going to remove all 4 of the Greenwood Sentinels. This is a 2 casting cost, 2/2 with Vigilance. Okay, not strong enough. So I'm going to take all 4 of them out and instead put in the Leafkin Druid. 4 of them, they're commons. Same casting cost of 2, you get a 0/3, so a better blocker. But wait a minute, tap, add green mana. If you control 4 or more creatures, add 2. So this is going to be ramp. You put down your lands and you create these mana dorks, and they will then increase your mana faster and faster so you can get out your bigger creatures. And you've got 4 of these out, each one is giving you 2 mana. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 mana out of these creatures in addition to the other mana that you've got. We're going to put all that mana to good use later on, as we will see. The deck comes with 3 Barkhide Trolls. This is 2 green mana for a 2/2, and it enters with 1 +1/+1 counter. So it's a 3/3. You can then pay 1 generic mana and remove one of these counters, and it gains hexproof. So it can no longer be targeted. Let's say it was about to be murdered. Will you remove the counter? It gains hexproof, it lives. Okay, I want a full playset of that. 4 of them. So that means I'm going to take out 1 forest. There's too many forests in this deck. There's 20 5 forests. We're only going to stay with 24 so that we can have the playset of the Barkhide Troll for only 2 mana. The deck comes with 3 Silverback Shaman. This is 5 mana for a 5/4 with Trample. Again, it does excess damage to the opponent. And when it dies, it draws you a card, so it replaces itself. I like that. So I want to have, again, a full playset of those because I'm going to remove the Gnarlback Rhino. There's only one of them, it doesn't do too much, so instead I'm going to add one more common Silverback Shaman. 5/4, draws you a card, I like that. And if you've been dropping your mana dorks, you should be able to get out to the Silverback faster than turn 5. Speaking of getting there faster, here's some more changes. We've got Titanic Growth, which will make your creature big. I don't care too much. Instead, I'm going to take all 3 of them out to put in the common Gift of Paradise. 3 casting cost Enchantment. It enchants your land. It also gains you 3 life, so prolongs your game. And then it gives the land tap, add 2 mana of any one color. So your 1 forest, if you want, could give you 2 red mana for some reason, but it's actually going to double your green mana, of course. So you'll be able to get out the Gift of Paradise faster with this Leafkin. Then your mana will be doubling, then plus your Leafkin. Again, you're going to get to these bigger creatures faster than you would normally get to. Imagine getting to this aggressive Mammoth on turn 4 or 5 instead of 6. So we want this Gift of Paradise instead of those Titanic Growths. I'm going to leave the playset of the 4 Vivien's Crocodiles, only 3 mana for a 3/3, and the Crocodile gets a +1/+1 as long as you've got a Vivien. Well, you'll be able to, again, summon her faster with all your mana acceleration, and then this will be a 4/4 for 3 mana. I removed 1 Gnarlback so I can only stay with 2, and this will be fine. For a 4 casting cost, you get a 4/4, and it tramples, and whenever you cast a spell that targets it, draw a card. So we'll see, we've got a few spells that target your own creatures, and then this will help you drawing more cards. But I'm only going to keep 2 of them. This is another one of the exclusive cards, is number 300 out of 280, so you can only get it in these Planeswalker decks, not in any boosters. And I forgot to mention, that also goes for these Vivien's Crocodiles, number 301. The last of the exclusive cards is the Ethereal Elk. 5 mana, which is a little pricey for only a 3/3, but with your acceleration you should get to it faster. It's got Trample, and then it tutors. It goes to look for Vivien from your deck and puts her into your hand to be able to summon her faster. So this Ethereal Elk is a tutor. Alright, so here's some spells that work with the Rhino. This is Rabid Bite, 2 mana, sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't. It comes with 3, so your 3/3 can deal damage to your opponent directly. It's not an actual combat maneuver. It's during your main phase, first or second. But if this targets that Rhino, it draws you a card. This is one of the ways to enact removal in your deck. Have your big creatures dominate their little creatures. Well, I want a full playset of that, so I'm going to take out the only Might of the Masses and then put in another common Bite. So 4 of these should let you get the card a little faster, target your Rhino for some extra card advantage. More targeting of your creatures, I'm going to leave the Growth Cycle, 2 mana, instant. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. It gets an additional +2 for each card named Growth Cycle in your graveyard. So as you add it to a creature, then it goes to the graveyard, you're going to get a +2/+2 plus a +3/+3. That's +5/+5 when you've got them in the graveyard. So it can make your creature really big, bigger than that Titanic Growth, plus it's cumulative, so I love it. I'm going to keep all 4 of them in the deck. And what I also like is I'm going to keep the Season of Growth. 2 mana, uncommon enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. So as you summon your creatures, so you want to get this out on turn 2. And as you're summoning your creatures, you'll be able to scry to see what's coming on your deck, and if you like it, keep it. If you don't, put it at the bottom. But wait a minute, whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. So there you go, it gives all your creatures the ability that the Rhino had, that when you target it, you draw a card. And yes, this does stack up. If you've got the Rhino out, and you've got the Season out, and you cast a Growth Cycle on it, you'll draw 2 cards. One from the Rhino, and one from the Growth. Amazing. So I'm going to keep both of those. And this would be something that I might consider adding 2 more. You can figure out if you'd like to do that. This is an uncommon card for more Scry ability. Scry also stacks up. You can scry the first time. I don't like it, put it at the bottom. Then you scry the second time. I like that one, keep it there. So you might think about adding more of those, but you'll figure out what you might want to remove. So there you go, those are my upgrades in the basic version of the video, the free version. Hopefully these upgrades instill you with ideas to improve the deck. We're going to add mana acceleration to get out big creatures, plus targeting your creatures for more card draw. I think that'll be a good strategy. If you'd like the longer video with the sideboard, more expensive upgrades, strategy for color hate, and such, head on over to patreon.com/vmcampos. Subscribe for $1, you'll unlock that video, plus all my other videos for Planeswalker upgrades and more. This has been VM Campos, and I'll see you in the blind eternities.